Hi, everybody. Just give everyone a couple of minutes to log on here. This has been a while since we've done Sprint, so I'm not sure how many people are going to be available this morning for the live, but if anybody is watching on the replay, let me know in the comments if you guys are watching on the replay. Good morning. Sunny where you are in Lancashire. So actually, it is a dreary, rainy day here today, where I am in Alberta, Canada. Which is fantastic because we rarely ever get rain here. And it's always super dry. And so we've had a fairly rainy June, which has been really nice because I hate the heat and the dryness. And usually, like when we get into the summer months, it's super smoky and there's a lot of forest fires and stuff, and it's sunny all the time and hot and dry. So I'm really happy to have a rainy Sunday today and spending it in the library, doing some library things. Good morning, Jackie. So happy you're here. Hopefully we'll get the normal crowd. Oh, Matt is here. Good morning. Let me know how it is where you guys are. I was just saying that it's super rainy and dreary and windy here today and overcast, and it's fantastic because Matt actually has a fire going. And yeah, I'm spending the day in the library. I just got out of the shower, obviously. I don't really care how I look on these lives, but yeah, it's going to be great. And I think it's supposed to be raining most of the day today. And I was just saying it's super rare here in Alberta, where I am, for to get so many rainy days. It kind of reminds me of home, actually, where Matt is in Newfoundland. So yeah, I'm spending the day in the library, just very, very comfy, cozy. And let me know what you guys are doing. So I'm kind of on two minds actually. My task today is to figure out what I'm going to put on these new shelves. So kind of just across the way from this big wall here of shelves, I put in two more. So I've got one of the big billies, like this size, and I've got one of the small billies, the skinny ones. Unfortunately, two big ones wouldn't fit on that little, it's like a little half wall over there. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to put on them. And I'm on kind of half a mind to move my ghosty shelves over there and have a whole section that's just ghosty books, like off on their own. But it's kind of weirding me out because like I really like where they are in the back here. Apparently I don't know my left from right, but in the back here, I really like where they are, and I usually film most of my videos here. But I also bought like this super cute antique Victorian little love seat that is actually upstairs in the witch's room right now. I'm thinking about moving it in front of those shelves and having like a whole little like ghosty area. So Matt told me, he was like, well, if you don't like it, you can always move them back. And I'm like, that is very true. So I think that's what I'm going to work on today during these sprints, and just see how I feel about it once it's done. But yeah, I think having like its own little ghosty section might be kind of nice. And I have Pedro, my skeleton, moved over there too. So once I have it all organized, I will show it to you guys. You do well. I know I would do well in the UK. I would love to be in the UK. It reminds me very much of Newfoundland, which is just across the pond, really. The staying in, if you can't see Pendle Hill, if it's rain. Yeah, I know you're by Pendle Hill, and I would love to go visit that place. If you can see the hill, it's going to rain. So that's actually pretty cool, little bit of folklore. Sunny and warm in Jersey today, so, Jackie's got the summer weather, I've got the rainy season here. We've been building a new deck on the front of our house as well, Matt and my dad and I, and, we've been trying to get some days where we can actually go out and get it painted, and it's just been on and off raining for the past couple of weeks, so the wood is really wet, so we haven't been able to do that, yet, but I know that we're gonna be headed probably once we get into July, we're gonna be headed for some hot and dry weather, so not too worried, but I'm glad that we do have the majority of, like, the big section done now. Like, there was a deck there before, but it really had to be replaced, so we've been working on that so far for most of the summer. High of 84, 29 Celsius. I'm still really bad at doing the conversion between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Uh, 10 degrees, where Matt is, and I think here we're at 8 well, a little while ago, we were at 8, it feels like 4 degrees, which is super chilly, and like I said, it's, oh, it says 10 feels like 7 now. And it says high rainfall totals raise flood threats. So I know in South Calgary, they were having some issues yesterday with some flash floods. So, like I said, not common for here whatsoever, but I'm really enjoying it. So for today's sprints, like I said, I'm going to be working on my shelves, figuring out what I'm going to do with those over there. I've come to the realization that I just need more shelf space as I start you know, kind of build out my collection. I have some destickering that I have to do today as well. I have to film a video at some point and get it edited and everything. I'm actually doing my summer reading recommendations. So I have a list of books that I wanted to talk about in that video. And for my book, I'm reading an audiobook right now. I just need to look up the author. It's called The Shadow Key by Susan Stokes Chapman. And it's really good. So the only thing is it is kind of long, like it goes in these kind of like different trajectories. And I'm like, get back to the main story. I'm really interested in the main story. But yesterday when I was listening to it, it got really good. And I've got about an hour and 45 left of that one. It's a gothic kind of mystery. And I am really enjoying it. Bookcase envy with your setup. I'm getting camping gear and prepping for a holiday. Oh, are you going like for an extended period or is it just over the weekend? Matt and I actually have an excursion coming up in the next couple of weeks. I haven't told you guys about it yet because I want to keep it, you know, just for the sake of our privacy. But I'll let you know after it's done where we went. It's actually really cool. Finally got Billy shelves. A moving company got them in Nova Scotia. Yeah, you guys don't have an IKEA, right? Am I right about that? There is no IKEA where you guys are, which is really weird to me. I can't believe in the entire province they don't have an IKEA. But yeah, the Billies I find are the best value for their money, and they're just perfect. And you can double stack, which you guys know I love to double stack. And these kind of like I use just 2x4s from the hardware store and put like little feet on them. I want to get those painted eventually, just paint them black so you can't really see them. Yeah, that's really a shame because, you know, especially with shipping, you don't want them to arrive damaged. That would be really bad. But I'm glad that you do have some Billies now. That's awesome. So let me know what you guys are reading. We're about 10 minutes in now, so I'm going to go to the kitty in a couple of minutes. So just per usual, we're going to do the 45, 45, 30. I'm not a long sprinter like some booktubers sprint for a really long time. And I'm just not. I like to do like, you know, a little bit of productivity and check in with you guys and chat and everything, but I'm not a super long sprinter. And then as far as the video goes that I'm shooting, I am a little bit late to the game in getting my summer reading recommendations up for 2 reasons. So first, I kind of went on a little bit of a break there for a while. I wasn't posting. I think I took about a month off. I was in a really bad place just mentally. So I wanted to get out of that depression, and I was having some medical tests done, and work was kind of crazy. So once things settled down, like I'm back into it now. And then the other reason is because I really find that a lot of booktubers all recommend the same books, especially like for us that are into kind of like vintage horror and stuff like that. We all recommend sort of the same books over and over. And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you're going to watch your favorite booktuber, and if one is mentioned multiple times, you're probably going to be more likely to pick it up. But I wanted to do something that was a little bit outside of the box. So for you guys that are on here, you'll be the first to know. I'm doing a theme of dark and spooky reads for people who hate summer, essentially. And it's all Gothic books. So I wanted to go that route rather than, the summer slashers or summertime, like beach reads and stuff like that. I wanted to do something that was a little bit out of the norm and a little bit dark and spooky. So hopefully you guys are into that. I have a couple of really, really good recommendations. The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams, really, really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's the comic relief. Like, she has a really comical way of writing. I read it a few years ago, and it's really, really good. Then probably move on to an audiobook to get stuff done around the house. I have to do some stuff around the house today too. I want to get some food prep done. And my groceries so far are just kind of shoved in the fridge. So I need to get to that too. Matt and I were out yesterday. We were buying the bookshelves. He had a couple of things he had to pick up and such and such. So a few things that need to be done around the house today. Baking flapjacks today too. Just remembered as timer went off for the oven. Me wondering why why the burning food. We used to have pancakes like every Sunday morning. We haven't had it in a while. One of my situations has been my stomach has been really bad lately, and I'm trying to get it to settle down and fix it. So I had an endoscopy, colonoscopy a couple of weeks ago, which was awful. I won't get into the detail, but even though they had me heavily sedated and actually said in my report that despite heavy sedation, I didn't take well to the tests, they couldn't get me knocked out. So they had to go ahead and do the tests, and it wasn't great. But the good news is that there's nothing sinister going on with my stomach. It's just that chronic issues that I've had my whole life are just getting worse as I'm getting older, and need to try to figure that out and what the triggers are. So we've kind of nailed down a few things. And, like heavy proteins and stuff like that is one of them. So I've been staying away from like bacon and stuff like that, because we used to have buttermilk pancakes and bacon like every Sunday morning. So I've just cut that out for a little while I try to fix my stomach a little bit. Yeah, I think probably everybody on this on this live is waiting for fall. I have seen a couple of code oranges out there, especially for people in the States, at home and places like that are starting to put their Halloween stuff out. Summer Gothic sounds awesome. Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, I really hate summer, so I do like to read some summer reads. There's one that I'm reading right now on my Kindle. It's called The Mystery of the Haunted Dance Hall, and it's about these little girls who are at a summer camp. So I still do like to read those, but I wanted to get out of that and move more into something that was just takes place during the summer period, but it still has all the dark and spooky that we know that is my favorite. So that's where I am. I'm going to turn on my audiobook. It's gone to a very occultish sort of angle, which you guys know that I love when there's occult in my Gothic reads. It's super, super good. So let me know if you guys have read The Shadow Key, or go ahead and look it up. I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's probably headed for like a 4-star read. So I would definitely suggest it. Keeping an eye for Halloween decor. I find that Canada puts out their Halloween decor later than the US does. And I know, like, for Bath and Body Works, like for their candles and stuff, it usually comes out the week of mine and Matthew's anniversary, which is the week of July 20th. So it's always after that. For the last couple of years, though, I gotta say I haven't really found anything that sort of tickled my fancy. But we'll keep an eye out, and hopefully we'll have a good Halloween season this year. So I'm going to bring up the kitty. Oh, she's gone back to 25 minutes. Okay. We're going to go for 45 45, and then I will see you guys on the other side. So like I said, we're going to go 45, 45, 30, and I'm going to get started on these shelves. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Hello, everyone. How did we all do with our sprint? Um, so my book is really good. We just hit kind of like the twist or the climax, I guess you would say, while I was reorganizing my books, and it's really good. I wasn't expecting it to go this way, so that's fantastic. And I have, let's see, just over an hour left. So that's good. Really high hopes for the ending of this one. So we'll see where it goes. And then I did take, you can kind of see here, I took all of my ghosty books down and moved them over to the other side. I just kind of filled up like kind of the sort of the middle section of that area. And then I'll build it out once I get more ghosty books added in. And I moved my Victorian love seat down here as well. But it doesn't go. Definitely doesn't go. It's not the right size. It doesn't fit properly. It kind of takes away from my fireplace too much. And my parlor upstairs that I have done is more like witchy, whimsical sort of feel rather than down here, which is all like black and very Gothic sort of Victorian feel. So I think we're going to have to, and I can kind of feel it already, that the grandma spirit that's attached to that love seat doesn't like it down here either. So unfortunately, Matt moved it all the way down here, down like 4 flights of stairs. So she's going to have to go back up because she's a bit temperamental and she does get angry sometimes. So we're going to have to move her back upstairs into the witchy parlor. She likes it up there. It's fantastic. It's all incense and tarot and candles and oil lamps and all of that kind of thing. So I think she'll be happier upstairs, and I'll get something else kind of to put in that corner to kind of build it out a little bit. But I'm happy with how the ghosty collection is looking, and there's tons of space to fill that up. And I've kind of just moved my Buffy collection up a little bit because my movie and show novelizations, which is kind of towards the bottom a little bit, is getting bigger, and I needed to extend that section out. So lots of reorganizing going on. I also need to get more risers. I don't know my left from right. It's like opposite. I need to get more of these risers made as well. So lots of work to be done down here. Flapjacks cooling, camping stuff out, now needing sorting, as it looked like we threw it randomly in storage. Yeah, I mean, that usually happens, right? Like after you get home from something, you just kind of throw it away and you don't want to see it for a bit, but then it's not organized when you try to get it back out. A Gothic book dungeon sounds fun. No, we don't annoy like this. So I have several grandma spirits that are upstairs. And one of them is very kind and very grandmotherly, and so is this one, but she can get temperamental. When we first got that love seat, so I bought it from her granddaughter. It had been in their family for since it was new. It has been reupholstered, but the wood and everything is all, you know, it's antique, it's vintage. And when we first brought her here, like, she caused a ruckus. She did not like that she had been moved away from her family. But after a little while, she calmed down, and she's usually pretty calm. She does get a little riled up from time to time, but I am feeling she's not liking it down here. Nice to just quietly read, but I'm going to get some chores done and listen to Devil's Creek. Ooh, Devil's Creek. That's been on my list for quite a long time. I've heard some really, really good things about that one. So let me know what you think of that one, Jackie, once you're done. Have you started it yet? Are you like in the middle or anything? Let me know, because I know that's one that I wanted to get also. And then, so I'm going to move Grandma over and just wait until she can get brought back upstairs and go back in her spot. I did buy some black fabric paint, and I'm on the fence about if I want to do the upholstery black or if I want to leave it. It's kind of like this olive sort of green and yellows, but it's very floral and whimsical. So it's almost like this botanical Gothic sort of looking love seat. I think I might leave her in her natural state. because it does very much fit in with that room up there. So we tried it, didn't really work. We'll move her back upstairs and we'll get maybe a little Victorian chair or something to put in that corner that will fit a little bit better. It's a very small love seat. Like it's not like a full length love seat. It's kind of like a chair and a half, I guess you would say. But it definitely doesn't go, especially with my Victorian couch here and everything is like black velvet. It just doesn't fit. So we'll get her moved back upstairs. I'll put something there later, but I'm glad to have more ghosty space. And I think I'm pretty much done with, moving shelves for a little bit. I do want to get some de-stickering done. Matthew and I, when we were out yesterday, so I bought the 2 new Billies, and then it's way in South Calgary, which is like I live north of Calgary, so it's kind of way out of our way. So we sort of thrifted on our way back up. We went to a couple of thrift stores and I found some treasures. So they've got to be de-stickered and cataloged and all of that before I do my next book haul. So I think I'm going to work on that and just really concentrate on my book because, like I said, it's kind of in the really good spot right now. And I'm really, really super enjoying it. So I'm reading this one. What am I reading right now? So I'm almost finished this one. I also have another audiobook that I'm working on. It's called A Dark and Secret Magic. So it's very kind of like my other personality, which is witchy and whimsical. So it's very much that route. So I'll jump back into that one once I'm done this one. I was just really intrigued by this one, so I just stopped reading the other one for a little while. And then, like I said, last night I did start a new one. It's like a middle grade sort of spooky mystery that has to do with a summer camp. These little girls, and it's called The Mystery of the Haunted Dance Hall. So I think like on the camp, there's like an abandoned building and they keep hearing like noises, like music and kind of stuff like that coming out of there. So I've been enjoying that one too, but I just started it. But it's fantastic because especially with reading things that are kind of like heavy gothic, I can just jump into something that's middle grade, very much a popcorn read, very much a summer read. So I think I'm going to de-sticker for this sprint and hopefully get the majority of the way through my book. And I know Jackie is switching her read as well. Let me know what you guys are working on also. Like it so far, 36%. Perfect. I'm just going to get the kitty brought up here. She's back at 45 minutes. And I think I'm going to get a snack too. I'm actually working on like a drink, but it's like a mix. It's like a Vega sort of hydrator. And I really don't prefer it. So I think I'm going to get something else and hop back into my book. I'm sorry that was a short chat in between. I've only got a couple of people on, and I'm really, really eager to get back into my book. So I'm going to do that, and I will see you guys on the other side of this 45-minute sprint. So we'll chat soon. How do we all make out with that sprint? That one actually seemed to go a lot quicker than the first one. My book has actually gotten really good. Matthew's at the store. So Matthew's at the store, so he's texting me. I swear when it comes to men, you can't send them to the store without getting like 15 text messages. Anyway, my book is really, really good. So we're kind of coming towards the end now, and I understand why they went the way they did. Earlier on in the book when I was like, oh, I don't know, like they keep going off on these like side quests, but it's all being brought together now, which is fantastic. So at least I know now that that had a purpose. Really, really enjoying this one. I've got to see if this author has other books out. Who did I say the author was again? Somebody I hadn't read before and somebody I haven't heard of before. Susan Stokes Chapman. Let me know if you've ever read anything by her. I'm just going to look it up on Goodreads to see if she has anything else. Stokes Chapman. Yeah, so she's a contributor in a couple of anthologies, actually, winter anthologies. There's the Winter Spirits, which is one that I've recommended in the past, Tales for Frosty Nights. And then The Witching Hour, Haunting Tales for Long Dark Nights. So she's a contributor to that, and she also has a book called Pandora. So I'll have to check that out. London 1799 for Pandora. So she seems to write around that time period, because I believe it's the late 1800s that this book also takes place in. Did you find all your stuff? I see there's a couple more. Just in time, finished cleaning out the craft supplies from last night's craft adventures. Fantastic. We had a pretty down night last night. By the time I got those shelves put together, like I was sore. It's wild what crawling around on the floor and just constantly getting up and down kind of does. And we also bolt my shelves to the walls, so we had to do all of that. So I had a pretty down night last night. But fantastic that you got some crafting done. I love nerdy weekends. I love chatting with my nerdy friends on the weekends, because it's like, oh, what did you get up to? Oh, I built Lego, and everybody else did crafting. Some people did some coloring. I built shelves for my library. Found the flex tail and walked Ollie dog. I love when exactly. All the treads come together in a book. Haven't read Chapman. No, this is my first, like I said. But she is a contributor to the Winter Spirits, which I believe was an anthology that I read previously. The cover looks really familiar. There's a couple of those kind of like wintertime anthologies that I've read in the past. And there's another one for Dark and Spooky Nights that she was a contributor. So I'll have to check out this Pandora. But this one, The Shadow Key, like I said before, it has some, sorry, I was de-stickering, so I'm covered in sticker goop. Yeah, so this one also takes place in the late 1700s, I believe. And it's really, really good. And it has that kind of occult sort of stuff coming in. So it's about this doctor who takes a post as like a personal physician to this aristocratic family. And it takes place in Wales, but he's from England. And so they're really skeptical and kind of suspicious of him because they have their own ways. They're very much like they keep to themselves. So it has a lot of their folklore wrapped into it, of like things that they would use for like home remedies instead of going to a doctor. So he has to deal with kind of that suspicion. He doesn't speak Welsh, so there's a language barrier there. And they're really skeptical of like science and that kind of thing. They use old like cunning magic and stuff like that. So there's this whole angle of like science versus magic, or science versus like traditional kind of folklore. So there's all of that wrapped in, and then so it's almost like they're out for him. There's a couple of things that happen that they're kind of like out for him, but he's pretty steadfast that he's going to stay and figure out what's going on with the sick people and stuff. And he takes up post like with this aristocratic family, and he's also the personal physician. So the guy that owns the house for the aristocratic family, his sister, no, his aunt, I think, is like a lunatic, and so she needs a personal physician at all times, and like a caretaker at all times. And her daughter, he kind of befriends when he goes there, and she's a very independent woman. She's very liberal in her way of thinking, especially for that time period. And so she's starting to show signs as well of the same sort of lunacy that her mother has. So he's trying to figure out kind of what's going on with the two women. And then this whole sort of mystery behind the family sort of starts to unravel, and he starts finding these sigils everywhere with certain people. And then so he's like, what does this sigil mean? So that's where, like, I won't say any more than that, but kind of where the occult aspect sort of wraps into this one. And yeah, it's really, really good. It has a lot of different kind of offshoots, but they're all starting to come back around now. There doesn't seem to be any like open endings left. So I'm going to be finishing that up. How much time do I have? I don't know if I can finish it in the next sprint, but I will be finishing it today.
Henry realizes that you.
I have 45 minutes left. So the next sprint will be 30 minutes. So then I'll have the last few minutes to go. And yeah, so really super excited. Like I said, I've been destickering new books that I hauled yesterday. Get them all cataloged and ready to do the next haul. I just did a haul, so it probably won't be for a little while. They'll just sit and wait for me to do my next haul. And yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm just going to continue doing these last couple here and then listen to my book. Matthew's gone to the store, so when he gets back, we're just going to be chilling, I think, for the rest of the day. I seriously need to dye my hair, but I'm just not in the mood to do it right now. So I think I'm going to take some extra meds, actually, because I'm a little bit anxious today. So I'm going to take some extra meds and sit in front of the TV and read and probably watch some cheesy 80s movies for the rest of our rainy Sunday. So I know everybody is kind of doing their productivity right now, but let me know what you're up to for the rest of the day. If you decide, like on Sundays, do you decide to like shut it down a little bit, like halfway through the day? I know we do. It's usually like we'll do a little bit of stuff in the morning, but then we start to shut it down. Chaos here now, camping things all over the dining room and the living room. That's going to be our place in the next little while, in the next couple of weeks, because we're going on an excursion. I'll just say that I booked it for. Hang on, Matthew's calling me. Sorry about that. Yeah. So let me know what you guys are up to for the rest of the day. Book sounds cool. Just read without a name by Annan. I don't think I've heard that about that one before. So what it says, Tarantino meets the Da Vinci Code. Oh, that sounds really cool. I haven't heard of that one before. Father's Day, so we're seeing my husband's parents after lunch. My dad and his wife are on vacation, so celebrated earlier this week. I just texted my dad, so yeah. I'm not sure if we're going to see them later or not, or if they'll be visiting with my brother, but I'm sure we'll touch base sometime this week for him. Dinner, then, yeah, you know, The dyeing the hair thing is like, I'm too cheap to go to the salon and get it dyed, but I hate dyeing it at home because of the it just gets everywhere. So oh, okay. Book Without a Name by Anonymous. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up because it sounds really cool. Anything that's like Tarantino meets the Da Vinci Code sounds like it would be a pretty cool premise. So, yeah, I'm gonna reset the kitty. We're gonna go for another 30 minutes. I'm excited to jump back into my book, and then I think by the time Matthew gets home, um, we should be done this sprint. So, I'm gonna set the kitty 30 minutes, and I will see you guys again on the other side. Bye. How are we all doing, everybody? I did, looks like Jackie dropped off, so hope she has a good rest of her Sunday. I did speed up my book a little bit to get through the very end. It was super, super good, so I'm glad I did that. And another one marked off the list. So I was excited to get to that one because I downloaded it, I think, last year. And it's been on my list to get to, and it just, other ones just kind of creep up. And I get to those ones first. So really, really excited that I finished that one. It was super, super good. I would highly recommend it. So that's The Shadow Key. So like a gothic sort of mystery that has the occult wrapped into it. So absolutely perfect. So we got some organization done on the shelves here. Got some books de-stickered. I'd say all in all, it was a pretty good morning. I know you guys had a productive morning as well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for sprinting with me today. I did take my extra medication, so I'm getting a little bit relaxed and sleepy right now. So I'm gonna go up, I think, and put on a movie and just kind of chill out for the rest of the day. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll get back to doing more of these Sunday morning sprints, probably not every week, but I do want to do a couple a month. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll have the regular crew back and sprinting on Sunday mornings. So I'll see you guys probably in 2 weeks. But for now, that's it for this sprint. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.